Hi, everyone. I'm Christina Sherrill. I'm thrilled to be here tonight on ICFP Primetime. I'm joined here with 4 Family Planning News Network community reporters. Earlier today, we hosted our first FPNN panel talking about what the network has accomplished in the 3 years since we launched at ICFP 2022 and sharing stories of solutions and community-led and youth-led reporting. So on the stage with me, I have Natalia De Leonteo, 2030 Youth Coordinator for the LAC Hub. We have S&M, yes, clap, S&M Amuzu, FPNN Community Reporter. Yes. Chibuke Alagbaso, Director of Media Programs at Nigeria Health Watch. And Louisa Valencia, who's currently writing a story for ICFP as we speak. Community reporters in action, folks. Here we are on the stage. So as I mentioned, we had a panel earlier today and we got to dive deep into what FPNN is, how we've grown, and what we are learning to accomplish. And so I just want each of them to share a reflection of what they take away from that panel today. There were a lot of insights, a lot of great questions. And I just want to hear what we're taking out of ICFP from that discussion. So over to you, Natalia.
Thank you very much, Christina. I think my key takeaway from our panel today was the importance of investing in youth. We talked a lot about how oftentimes our work is not remunerated, especially when it comes to working with several organizations or work or doing some sort of reporting. And so just thinking in terms of how we can invest in youth so we're actively engaging in shifting the storytelling and shifting the sort of bureaucratic power that we see surrounded in SRHR, but also just in general. I know we have the power as youth to make this change. So I'm really excited to work alongside FPN and to continue strengthening the capacities of youth so we can narrate our own stories and have our own power to tell these stories. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name again is Esinam. I think my own takeaway, just like Natalia mentioned, was our space and telling our stories in a language that everyone understands. It was a reflection of the fact that, taking for example, earlier this year when we had the whole carton funding, a lot of the conspiracy theories that were going around on what SRHR was promoting, but these were not through. And so if we tell our stories, if we create that platform where people get to know what is really happening, where the donor funds are going to, what investments we are getting and gaining, then we are owning that space and holding space for ourselves. We are holding the fort and making sure that even in the face of pushback, even in the face of donor cuts, financial cuts, and all of that, we are still as resilient by telling the stories that matter, but most importantly from the communities, because that is where the real impact and the stories are from. Thanks.
Thanks, S&M. Chibuke.
Thank you. Thanks, Christina. For me, the biggest takeaway was the need for us to tell stories of what's working. At the beginning of the panel, I asked the audience how many of them came with solutions to ICFP, and people raised their hands. And I asked how many of them have seen their stories told in the media, stories of solutions that they are bringing from all over the world, and nobody raised their hands. So that tells me that it's important for us to be deliberate about talking about what's working. How are we responding to all of these issues? How are we leveraging the solutions journalism mindset or solution storytelling mindset to talk about what's working? And all of us are storytellers in our own right. You don't need, yes, there's need to use the big platform, the FPNN platform, to amplify those stories. So my biggest call to action and takeaway as well was tell the stories of what you're doing, show how you're responding to problems, show the process, show the evidence of what you're doing, show the learnings, and of course talk about the challenges so others can learn. Thank you.
Thanks, Chibuke. Louisa.
Well, for me, the main takeaway from our session today has to do with the fact that I work for a traditional media called El Espectador here in Colombia, and we were gathering our different points of view on how we do journalism. So we have the community perspective, we have the solutions journalism perspective, and me from a kind of a traditional media newspaper based in Colombia, it was very important to say that we need to gather more voices, more diverse voices from Latin America, and the Caribbean, and we also need to include the scientific perspective to show people that we are not inventing what we're saying in this conference. I mean, the importance of abortion and the importance of maternal mortality reductions and the importance on contraceptive access in lots of countries. It's not new. It's not something that we're making up. It's something that scientists have researched for many, many years, many, many decades, and we as journalists need to gather that data and show it to the world in a way that people can understand them in a more amicable way, in a more friendly way. But also, we need to take those data for ourselves and show the world that yes, we have lots of arguments to defend what we're doing and what we're writing about and what we're being an advocates on. So yeah, that's my main takeaway.
Thanks, Louisa. Thank you all for those reflections. It's been an incredibly powerful week. FPNN has been throughout the conference, from high-level media briefings to community solutions journalism trainings, of course the ICFP live stage, hosting powerful conversations across the board. And I think it's very clear and everyone can see that the future of SRHR is through storytelling and telling people's stories and making these things human and have a real impact. So I'm curious, quickly, in one or two sentences, what makes you each hopeful for the future of SRHR storytelling?
I always say this, but I think what makes me hopeful, not just for the future, but also for the present, is the power that youth has. I really think that when youth is determined to make something happen, we can make it happen. It's only about continuing to sharpen our tools and our capacities and continue to grow, to continue furthering this process. Thank you.
Well, agreeing with the person sitting close to me isn't bad, right? What makes me and gives me hope is the power of the youth and the fact that we live in a space where we have so much available to us and we are committed to using every resource available, intergenerational dialogue, everything technology to make the future a better one for us. Thank you.
Thank you. For me, what makes me hopeful? Two things. First of all is the access to tools. There are lots of tools that a lot of us can use these days to amplify the work that we're doing. And secondly is the willingness to collaborate. There's more, people are asking more about collaboration, cross-border collaboration, cross-continent collaboration. So that means people are willing to see what's working in other places and use it to ask questions, use those to hold their leaders accountable to say, look, why are you not doing this? Why are we not learning what others are doing? Why are we not replicating that? So that gives me hope because it means a lot of things will be changing with time. Thank you.
Well, and to not repeat what my colleagues just say and things that I completely agree with, I'm just going to say that we as journalists are always looking for news stories and interesting stories, inspiring stories that maybe we can help promote and be more visible in the world. So I invite you all to share your stories with us. We're very open to collaborate and to tell again more stories about Latin America and the Caribbean. So thank you so much.
Thank you all. Yes, please. Thank you. So as we wrap up, I do just want to thank my colleagues again, Louisa, Chibuke, S&M, Natalia, my friends, my colleagues, my partners in crime. It's been such an incredible journey with all of you. We've been on multiple continents and reporting trips and learning about the power of FPNN. And I'm just eternally grateful to each of you and wanted to give a special shout out to Matt Matassa in the back, without who, yes, FPNN would not be possible, or the ICFP live stage. So we're incredibly grateful to you and Molly Maesner for everything that you do. So thank you, and follow FPNN for more information. Thanks, everyone.